Hello, welcome to Pilates Matwork. And today we are going to go through some exercises here. We're going to get into the outer thighs, the inner thighs, core, lots of ab work today, which will include roll downs, roll ups, roll overs, and teaser. We're going to get into some teaser today. So if you know that you do better with those exercises with a little bit of lumbar support, which can be a rolled up hand towel. Sometimes that can be a small pillow, or even a rolled up blanket or something like that. I'm going to encourage you to bring that in so that you're more successful and less frustrated when we get to those exercises. So this is what mine is. Highly recommend. This is just the contact mat, like you would get Kroger, Target, Walmart, Amazon. This is kind of like one whole thing here that I have folded in half, and then folded that again, and then folded that again. And that's what I use for my lumbar support. And I also use this with clients, and it works really well. So find what you need and bring it in. Otherwise, you don't need anything else today. So just put that to the side for when we need it, except for maybe your water. Always practice with water. So let's start standing. And I'm just going to come to a nice standing position. So I want my hip bones, knees, and feet track in this alignment here. So it's not about how wide you think you are, it's where your actual hip bones are. So if you're not sure, just kind of feel around for them and then see if you can take your feet and your knees in that alignment. And if it's not perfect, no worries, just do what you can, okay? And then from here, can the knees be a little soft? So this is what I mean by that. So when we're standing here in kind of a neutral position, with the natural curvatures of the spine, knees slightly bent, your pelvis is also in neutral. When we are in this habit of locking our knees out, that puts the pelvis in an anterior tilt, meaning the hip bones tilt forward and the pubic bone tilts back. So that will take your spine and pelvis out of neutral. If I just be a little bit more at ease there, that brings me back in. So you're looking for eventually at some point ears, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles in that relative alignment. Okay. So again, do the best you can do. And then from here, maybe placing hands right up on the upper belly, right below their lower part of the rib cage, and practice that breath. So as you inhale through the nose, feel that rib cage expand. And then as you exhale through the mouth, kind of feel a deflating here. The big inhale. Good. That's how you want to inhale and exhale if you can. Remember, at the end of the day, the only wrong way to breathe is not breathing at all. But when you have that kind of breath, you get a little bit more engagement into the core and the belly, and it makes the exercises come along a little bit easier. Just kind of keep that in mind. I can't do that breath and talk at the same time, but just kind of keep going there. And you want a nice center line engagement from the pubic bone to behind the navel, that drawing up and in. So if you're not sure kind of how to achieve that, most of us know what it's like to take our favorite pair of jeans out of the dryer and they're a little tight. You got to kind of suck it up in a little bit to zip up and button up. It's the same thing, but you want to be able to breathe and move with ease with that same engagement. So now that we've got that going here, let's go into a little bit of footwork. So from here, I'm just going to keep my feet in hip width alignment, and I'm just going to lift my heels straight up and straight down. Straight up and straight down. Trying to press evenly into big toe and pinky toe mound. You can always hold on to a wall or a piece of furniture here. And from a side view, it looks like that. Okay, just lifting straight up and straight down. Good. Now from here, let's take this into a little bit of a knee bend with it. We're going to lift the heels, lower the heels, little bit of a knee bend. Good. Lift heels, lower heels, little bit of a bend. And one more time. Lift, lower, little bend. Good. Now from here, let's take this into a V shape. So my heels are going to connect from the hips. Remember, rotation is always from the hips. We don't rotate things from the knees. Hips, knees, and toes are going to turn out a little bit. You want about a fifth width apart between your two big toes here. So avoid trying to turn out too wide. And if your heels and your legs don't come together here, do the best you can do. This takes practice and some toning through here in order for that to work. So We're going to lift straight up. Again, trying to keep the heels connected. That also takes practice. Took me quite a while to be able to do that. And then some days I still can't do it, but I can do it most of the time now. Good. You're still pressing up through the big toe and pinky toe mounds. And you should feel this pretty special sensation happening here right around the gluteal fold. Good. Now, let's add a little plie to that. So we're going to lift, lower, little plie. Hips, knees, and toes are tracking in that alignment. And zip up. Lift, lower, little plie. Lift, lower, little plie. And lift, lower, little plie. Good. Let's go ahead and come to a march here. Good. Let's go into a little bit of a tiptoe balance. So from here, we did a little bit of that when we lifted and lowered. But now this time when you lift, zipping up, maybe arms out to the side, the waist, or up high. Up high is going to be the hardest. You choose where you want to be. Could you come up here and hold that balance? Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll take that back down. Let's take that again. Arms anywhere you need. Good, lifting up. Let's hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll lower. Go ahead and get a nice little bend here, pressing through the feet and the legs, coming all the way up, and hands coming down. Okay, let's start to get into our real mat work here. We're going to go through a couple roll downs and roll ups, and then we're going to do a couple Pilates push-ups here. So find your stance where you need. It's going to be easier if your hip width apart. And if you've got a cranky low back or something going on, that's where I recommend you go. The closer you step the feet and the legs together, the harder you'll make it. And likewise, your Pilates V is going to be the most challenging. So find what you need. Zip up. We're on an imaginary wall. I'm going to tuck that chin, scoop in that belly. And my arms are just going to dangle free as I come down here. And it's better to bend the knees than to hinge the hips back. You may or may not touch the floor, go to where you can go. And then you're going to press down into the floor from the hip to the heel, starting from the tailbone. As you roll up and stack, bone by bone, shoulders, chin, and head are last to come up. We'll do that again. Inhale, exhale, nodding the chin. Start to scoop in that belly. Bend the knees as needed. Good. This took a long time to get those hamstrings open to not be able to hinge the hips back. So practice, 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 pressing down into the floor, rounding, 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 coming all the way up. Good job. Let's prepare for Pilates push-ups now. Arms are going to come up by the ears, arms by the ears. Imagine now that you're diving over a beach ball. So as you get that dive, arms stay by the ears. Your gaze is going to come down. Good. My gaze is at my legs at this point. And as I come down, I'm going to walk this out. Good. Knees can be down or lifted. Find your length. Find that good plank. Elbows turn forward without collapsing. Halfway down and push. There's 1. There's 2. Bent knees or long legs. Walk the hands back. Stop the hips over the ankle. Good. You can walk that all the way back up to standing, taking the arms up here, and let's open into a little bit of a back bend. And we're going to do that one more time. This time, after the push-up, we're going to stay down. Big inhale, arms by the ears. Exhale. Good. You're diving over that beach ball. Good. Walking it out. Find your plank. Knees lifted or grounded. Good. Protract those shoulders, elbows forward. Get halfway down. 1 and 2. Good. You can drop those knees. If you want a little child's pose here, let yourself have it. Otherwise, we're going to get right into it. We're going to come down onto our back, also known as supine. Supine. So once you come onto your back, readjust anything that you need to. You need to take any little wiggle, go ahead and do that. But we're going to come right into bridging, right into that articulating bridge. So making sure that your feet are not too far away or too close in. Hips, knees, and toes are tracking, rolling those shoulders back. Really plant those shoulders and arms into your mat here. Big inhale, rocking that pelvis back, moving through the lumbar, through the rib cage, lifting up through that chest, getting into the mid-back. And then we're going to lower from the mid-back, through the rib cage, through the lumbar, through the sacrum, and back to your safe neutral. We'll do that one more time, and then we'll add on. Rocking back through the sacrum, through the lumbar, through the rib cage, up to the mid-back, lifting up through that chest, pressing arms and shoulders in, and lowering from the mid-back, through the rib cage, through the lumbar, through the sacrum, and the neutral spine. You can stay with those if that's what you need today. Those of you that want more challenge, you can take this into a single leg. Leg can be in a tabletop position or up towards the ceiling. You choose where you need to be. I'm going to be here, one leg bridge, whenever you're ready. Good. You can roll it back and peel it up. And you can roll that back down. And we'll do that one more time. Rolling it back, peeling it up. Now, once you're there, lower halfway, lift, halfway, lift, halfway, lift, halfway, lift, and lower down. Good. That foot's going to come down. Other side, tabletop or long leg, or just basic bridging. And when you're ready, good, you can roll that up. Find your single leg bridge and rolling that down. We'll go again, rolling it back up, holding it up there, halfway lower, squeeze and lift. Halfway, lift, halfway, lift, halfway, lift, and roll it down and release that foot. Take your knees into your chest and rock, 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 side to side. We're going to take this into some chest lifts now. This is going to be a long set, so be mindful of it. You will find it to be a little bit easier if your feet are on the floor. It's going to be a little bit more challenging if your knees are in tabletop, so choose your challenge. Hands behind the head here. Elbows are out wide. Remember, you're lifting through the chest. We're not pulling or doing funny things with your neck. So from here, zipping up nice and tight, 6 times center. Good, lift. Exhale, 1. Really lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. To the left. From the shoulder, not the elbow. 1. To the left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take it to the right. 6, 5. Hips down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that down, knees in, rock, rock, rock. Let's get a little twist here. Knees in, tabletop, arms out to the side. I'm too close to my wall. And then from here, just let those knees come over to the left. Look to the right. Try to keep that right shoulder grounded. Breathe and expand. Good. Now that we're all warmed up, we're going to prepare for our harder work. And then one leg at a time, or using your abdominals to bring them both in. Take them all the way over to the right. Good. Looking to the left, left shoulder grounded. Good. We're going to take this right into some hundreds. Right into some hundreds. So from here, once you're ready, good, we'll come back to center. For your hundreds, feet can be on the floor. They can be in tabletop. They can be straight up towards the ceiling or anywhere along your long diagonal line, as long as the spine is in neutral. So you can't be doing the arch and the back getting involved there or anything like that. So be mindful as to where you need to be. Okay, so from here, arms up, zipping up, nodding the chin. Good, reaching long and strong. Take your legs, we're going to take them if you're going to go long. Start pumping those arms. And we inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the chest higher. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, reach deeper. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, hold. Lift the chest higher, reach deeper through the arms, and take that down. Woo! And rock, 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 side to side. Okay, we're gonna take this right into some roll down, roll ups, and roll overs. So we're gonna do this methodically here. Bring in your lumbar support if you're going to use that. So for this first one, we're just gonna do this in stages. So those of you, even though this is a little bit more of an advanced class today, I'll just kind of go over this. Different bodies need different things, especially as we age day to day. So easiest here, you're gonna scoop. You're gonna come back to your point of control. You can hold on or let go, and then you're gonna come back up. Your point of control is that point where you feel like you either need to keep going back or your feet need to come up. And that's where you would stop and come back. Same thing, you can do that here. Back issue people obviously are not gonna go into flexion if that's contraindicated for you. You're gonna work on one of those with a nice flat back and coming up here. Now, rolling down all the way, I recommend that you work on this, being able to do this well before trying to do a roll up. Okay, work on that well. And then if you're just doing that, you're going to roll over to your side, come back up, and you'll do that again. Those of us that are going to do roll ups and roll downs, then good. Get your lumbar support at the ready. And everybody's in just a little bit of a different spot, and it might take one kind of throwaway in order to find your correct spot. So for those of us doing roll-ups, we will start with the roll-up. So arms are up, we're zipped up. We're not whipping anything like that. That's not core work, that's momentum. Inhale, exhale. Lean all the way up. Legs should be down and you should come up through center. So if you're rolling over to your side, using your elbow, getting stuck, try your lumbar support. If you're using that and you're still getting stuck, we're not ready for that yet. Practice your roll downs. And then from here. Good. Now we'll go number 2. Inhale, exhale. And you can even roll all the way forward. I'm going to keep that scoop as I roll right back into my next one. Can you even reach? Sometimes it feels good to get that little stretch in between. Inhale, exhale. And roll forward. Now you can stay with these, or you can add a roll over here. No neck issues, eye pressure issues, or anything like that. If you're going to roll over, good. Once you get back there, it's like a plow. Open the legs, shoulder width apart. Good. Toes point down, and then you're going to roll out. Good. You can roll all the way forward. Good. You can kind of do the halfway roll up, kind of like what I did there, or you can come all the way up and start that. You choose. Good. Rolling down. So for example, you can come over here and come up that way if you'd like. Just different ways to do it. Let's do one more, and then we're going to move on. My core is getting fried, but this is good work to do. Good. Oh, yes, see, now my legs want to come up. Oh, because I'm tired of and taking that down. Good. So from here, you can remove your lumbar support for right now. Have it close by. You might need it again towards the end when we come to teasers. We're going to come back down to the floor, and we're going to take a little stretch break here. Good. If you need to kind of pat this out a little bit, go ahead and do that. So we're going to start on the right side first. Your left knee can stay bent or be long, and which one you should or shouldn't do, it's going to be dictated by what makes your back feel good or worse. So do the one that makes your back feel good. For me, I like a little bit of a bend in the knee here today. So I'm just going to take my right leg up. I'm going to let my hands travel up as high as they can go. And my upper body's going to stay on the floor. Okay, we're not doing this. We're down here. You can point and flex through that foot, rolling that ankle around, which is what I like to do. maximum stretch, point the toes towards the face and leave it there. Take some good breaths here. And sometimes we do, but sometimes we don't. But notice you can always, when we do these, if you want to come out a little bit and pull in, you can find your different stretches, that might be a little bit better for you here. Okay, so we're going to take this into leg circles. We're going to do 6 small, 4 large. Hips stay on the floor at all times. Zip up nice and tight through that center line. Okay, so this is sneaky core work here. If the center line's not engaged, you won't get that core work with this. So you can point your toe, but not so much that you get a foot cramp. And we're just going to trace just a little circle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Reverse those tiny circles. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now larger circles. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, reverse, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Just bring that knee in. And something I forgot to say for that, if you do this work and you feel like a piece of connective tissue or something's kind of popping around in here, shorten that range of motion. Don't work through that. And then we'll take this to the other side. So do what you need to do with the right leg. Left leg's going to come up. We're going to take that stretch first. Let the hands travel up as high as they can go. You can point and flex that foot. You can roll those ankles around. You can keep the toes pointed to the face for maximum stretch. Find yours. And then once ready, good, we'll release and we'll come to our circles. So zip up and in here, rolling the shoulders back. Be mindful of the breath. Good, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reverse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll take that into the larger circles now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and reverse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring that knee in. Good. When you're ready, we're going to take this right into rolling like a ball. Take both legs in. Hold right here. Nod the chin. 6 times. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Taking that back down. We're going right into single leg stretch. Single leg stretch. Hips stay on the ground for single leg stretch. No rotation. Here we go. Right, or this is my left side. Left knee in. Right leg long and strong. And we split. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Double leg stretch going right into it. Inhale. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Woo! And take that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. From here, we are going to come up to a seat. You can do a roll up. You can roll up like a ball, or you can just roll over to your side and come to a seat. Get there the way that's best for you to get there. Taking those legs about as wide as your mat. If you're practicing not on a mat today, you want to be just a little bit wider than the width of your hips. Good. Let the knees be bent here if you're tight in the hamstring. And you can always sit up on a pillow or a folded blanket here too, if you're tighter in the hips. Toes are going to point towards you. Zip up, find that center line of engagement. Again, we're going to go into spine stretch forward, zipping up. This is just like the standing version, except now you're seated. We're going to nod that chin off the imaginary wall. Scoop in that belly. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Keep going until maybe your ears are by the bicep. And then starting back at that tailbone, we're going to stack bone by bone. Shoulders, chin, and head are last to come up, and we'll go again. Nodding that chin. Rolling that out forward. Stretch. And coming back up. So if the forward flexion is not for you, you can do this with a flat back. You're going to get a little bit more into the hamstring. Just be mindful. Okay. We'll go again. I'm really reaching here. I'm scooping. Really focusing on that stacking. And one more time. And this is a good one if you're not sure if you're coming up to a stacked spine. Practice this on an actual wall, peeling off and peeling on. It's a good training tool. And then we'll take that down. Spine stretch side. We'll take that to the side. Good. Oh, reaching over as I reach over. I'm reaching over to my left and my right hip is on the floor. I want my shoulders and hips to be in that alignment. And then I'm going to come back up. Same thing as I go to the right. Left hip on the floor, shoulders and hips in alignment. Squeezing that low rib cage and the top of the pelvis together as best as you can. Let's do that one more time each side. Taking that over. Nice long top arm will get you more into the side body. And then we'll go to the right. Good. And coming back in. We'll go right into stall here. Rotate. Reaching around. Sawing pinky toe off the pinky finger. Stacking back to center. And rotate. Reaching around. No bouncies. Stack and rotate. Reach. Lean back center. And rotate. Reach. And come back one more time each side. And we'll rotate. And we'll reach. And coming back up. And rotate. And reaching around. And stacking back up. Great job. Take something out here. While we're here, go ahead and take the legs out wide. We'll just get a little bit of an inner thigh stretch while we're here. And we'll just walk that out. Good. Just walking that up. Ooh. Just breathing. Nothing like a good adductor stretch. That's your inner thigh. And then you can walk that back up. We're going to come prone now, prone. So we're going to be on the belly, And so that once you're here, you're going to operate these the way you need to. So some people, just a baby swan is all you need. And maybe you can do that. Maybe just the swan is all you need. But we're going to do 2 swans and go in the swan dive. So if you need to stay at the swan, skip the swan dive. So I'm going to go ahead and prep myself here. My legs are hip width apart. From my shoulders, I'm going to walk my hands a little forward into the side. Rolling the shoulders back, zipping up that front body. Good. Find your swan, a baby, a medium, or a high. Swan dive is best if you do it from a high swan. And then we'll lower that down with control. And with this extension, might feel good to the back, stretching that abdominal wall a little bit here. Good. And then we'll come back up. Good. Find your swan one more time. And taking that all the way back down. Good. Now you choose, you're going to continue your swan or you're going to find swan dive with me. So you got to come up to that swan. And then we're going to swan dive 4 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And take that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. If you need to press back real quick into a child's pose, listen to your body and give it what it needs. Otherwise, we're going to come up into some single leg kicks. So I'm going to come up into my forearms here. You can clasp the hands together. Shoulders are over or behind your elbows. And I'm zipped up into that front body here. So I'm also just not hanging here. I'm very active. So no crunching in the back. Good. From here, you want to really squeeze the glute when you do this move. If you don't, it's a pretty pointless exercise. You're not getting the benefits out of it that you want. So when you're ready, starting on the left side. Good. Pointed foot, squeeze, squeeze, lower. Squeeze, squeeze, lower. Squeeze, squeeze, lower. Squeeze, squeeze, lower. Now flex the foot. Squeeze, squeeze, lower. Squeeze, squeeze, lower. Squeeze, squeeze, lower, squeeze, squeeze, lower, alternating, flex, point, lower, flex, point, lower, flex, point, lower, flex, point, lower, and lower it all the way down. Find a child's pose. Good. Once you're ready, come back onto your back. We're going to be supine, supine. We're going to work our abs again. So once you come back down here, rolling the shoulders back, we're going to come to single straight leg stretch, single straight leg stretch. So I'm going to start with just my left leg up, and my right leg is going to come to a diagonal where I can control it. I'm going to come up here. Good. And here we go. You can do the pulse today. I'm not going to cue those. So you choose what you want. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. I'm going to take this right into double straight leg stretch. You can be lifted or lowered. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale. Exhale 6. Bend the knees. Lower down. Short break. Hands behind the head. Going right into crisscross. Legs will move with you. Hips don't move with you. This is from the torso. Lead with the shoulder, not from the elbow. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And take that down. Woo! Okay. From here, we're going to take this into side line. So I'm going to roll over onto my right side because that's going to be the side that faces you. You don't have to do the right side first. We are going to do the same thing on both sides. So just come to the side. This is best for you right now. Knowing that you can be up here. If you're going to be up here, you can't be here. You got to be lifted and lifted. You can also be here. Same thing. You can be down here, which is where I'm going to be. You can also be here. So take the position that's best for you. You want your hips and your shoulders to be in alignment here. Some people like to take the leg at a more of a 45-degree angle. That's fine. I like this nice long parallel line because it's a little bit harder, but you choose you. Bottom knee can also be bent, which I'm also going to do here a little bit. Good. So zipping up nice and tight. And here we go. Hip, knee, and toe. Strap to the side, not to the ceiling. And we're going to lift. 8, 7. Whoop, wrong direction. Yeah, that's right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So here's tiny little circles for 4. 1, moving from the hip, pelvis doesn't move. 2, 3, 4, reverse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now I'm going to bring this foot in here. I'm going to lengthen my bottom leg. We're going to do that same thing with the inner thigh of the lower leg. So here we go. We're going to lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tiny circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Top leg, grab that center of the foot. We're going to get a quad stretch here. Take the hips forward as you take the foot and the knee back behind you, getting all along the front of that thigh. And when you're ready, good. We're going to go into some single arm push-ups here, single arm push-ups. So your bottom arm is going to kind of wrap around. Your top arm is the one that's going to be the push-up. So the more you take this hand up here, the easier you make it. The more you take it closer to the waist, the harder you will make it, okay? I'm going to recommend if you're not really sure, start around the shoulder, and then make adjustments from there. But we're going to do this 6 times. 6 times. Here we go. 1, really press. 2, really lift. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. Go ahead, come back onto your belly, onto the belly. We're going to come into swimming now. Arms are going to come forward. Palms can face each other or the floor. You choose. Zip up nice and tight here. Good. Lift the upper, lift the lower. So it's opposite arm, opposite leg that lifts and lowers. Really squeeze the back of the shoulder. Squeeze the back of the glute. Stay slow if this is where you need to be be stable. Otherwise, as you get used to it, you can come a little faster. If you're rocking side to side, you're going too fast. Still breathe. And we've got, whoop, there we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that down. Child's pose. And we'll take side series to the other side. So, coming now on the other side, your other side, try to do the same position with the arm on this side as you did on the other side. So you train both sides evenly. Same thing if you had your feet out in the 45-ish degree angle. You want to do that again here. Good. Zipping up nice and tight. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now here's a little circle. Here goes 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. That foot's going to come down and forward. Bottom leg's going to reach long. And here we go again. From the bottom leg, we're going to lift 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 little circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reverse 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Grabbing that top shin or foot, knee and foot go behind you, hips come forward. Get that quad stretch. And when you're ready, we're going to take our single arm push-ups on the side. So bottom hand's going to wrap around, top hand, start at the shoulder and go from there. Moving up is going to be easier. Moving down is going to be harder. 6 times. Here we go. Press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Here's what we've all been waiting for, teasers, right? We've all been waiting for teasers. So a few things to note about the teaser. Everything we've done kind of so far in terms of roll downs or whatever are all prerequisites for the teaser. So if you can't do a roll down, it probably means you can't do a roll up, which means you're not ready for teaser. So at this point, you're going to go back and you're going to practice your roll downs, practice your strength, whether it's the full or the half. Practice rolling up if you can't do that. Okay. You can practice the roll overs here as well. Otherwise, we're going to practice teaser. Now, if you're like, well, I can't really just do the teaser. I'm not sure if I just want to do that, but I don't want to go back and practice other things. Practice your boat pose, because this is where you end up in teasers, whether you're doing the bent knee version or the leg long version. Okay. And you're usually not holding on. So it's okay to practice that if that's what you need today. Listen to your body. Otherwise, good. I'm going to take my lumbar support here. Good. So when you come up in teaser, your upper body and your lower body lift in unison together. So you don't try to lift the upper body and then try to lift the lower body, or try to lift the lower body and then try to lift the upper body. It won't work. They must come together. Okay. So from here, when you're ready, I'm going to take my hands kind of part way back. I'm going to do the bent knee version first, And we're just going to do 4 of these. So big inhale, exhale. Coming up, you want to come up through center, and then you can roll that back down. Good. I'm going to do that one again. Inhale, exhale. Don't spill your water. Thankfully, well, shoot, that will make a mess. Get that back there. Okay, I'm just going to move out a little bit from my wall. Apologies about that, but instructors are people too, and real life things happen to us like everybody else. So from here, when you're ready, we'll do bent knees again. Big inhale, exhale. Coming up, and we'll take that down. Good. Now, you can stay with that if that's where you need to be, or you can try with the long legs. I'm not as good at that, but we'll see where we are today. Big inhale, exhale. Looks like I can do it today, but I got to hold on once I get up there. And then I'm going to bend my knees and take that back down. And then we'll do that one more time. Inhale, exhale. Lean up. Good. And then take that back down. Good. From here, when you're ready, cross the ankles, come forward. We're going to work on some planks. Now, you've got leeway here today. So you can do a high plank up on the hands, which is what I'm going to do. You can also be on your forearms and do a forearm plank here. Let me also show you some options. So you can still be on your knees here after we've done a plank. We're going to do the leg lifts here. So you can still do that if you're bent knees. Still do that if you're on your forearms. It doesn't really mean anything other than you're on your hands or your forearms, okay? So find your plank that feels good to you right now. Forearm, knee, or up high. Find your length in the torso wherever you're at here. Good. So shoulders are over or slightly behind the wrists. If you're on forearms, they're going to be over or slightly behind the elbows. Good. Find it. Get the glutes, get the quads on line here. I'm still breathing. I'm zipped up and in. And then I'm going to drop the knees. We'll take a break. Good. So the second plank is when we're going to do those lifts or pull down. And when you do your lifts or pull downs, you want the pelvis to be even to the floor. So when you lift a leg, it doesn't go out to the side, just straight back. And it may not be very high. That's okay. So find your chosen plank. Hands, forearms, knees, or lifted. It will work a little bit better if you're about hip width apart there with the legs. Zipping up nice and tight. Left side. Pulse, pulse, lower. Right. Pulse, pulse, lower. Squeeze the glutes. Pulse, pulse, lower. 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 And drop the knees. Child's pose. We are going to make our way back up to standing where we started. So from here, could you come back into your plank? Could you then kind of shift back a little bit, a little downward facing dog, getting a little stretch here? Let's use this as a stretch. Bending the right knee, pressing back to the left leg. And shoulders away from the ears. You can have a little bit of a yield in the elbows. And then we'll go to the other side, bending the left knee, lengthening the right. And then once you're ready, good. We will walk those hands back towards the feet. Once the hips are over the ankles, good. You can press through and kind of come up, or you can walk your hands up, find it the way you need to get there. And once we're all the way there, good. From here, feet are going to be, actually, let's take our legs a little bit wider for this one. Hips, knees, and toes will turn out. Big inhale and reach. Exhale, bend and come down. A little bit of a stretch. Reach. Let's take a little side bend over here. As I take this side bend, I have a nice long arm. I'll get deeper in the side body. I'm really pressing through that side. And coming back up. Inhale, exhale, pressing through. Coming up, taking it over. And then from here again, taking it down, pressing up. Good. I'm just going to keep my arms up here as I bring my legs back in together. Tricep, stretch, reach up, elbows in. Good. Take that straight back. Neutral standing position. and taking that down. Good. Taking hands, try to pull them apart here. I'm going to reach. I'm separating the shoulder blades. You can round, you can dip the head through. A little bit of a neck, upper body, shoulder stretch here. Good. And then same thing for the back, taking that down and lifting up. Good. Way to go. You made it through this Pilates mat work class. I hope you had a lot of fun building up to teaser. Keep working on different skills and then come back and practice your teaser again. Practice makes progress. So keep practicing and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.